Today on Car and Driver Television, it's the first test of the new Corvette with new power, new handling for the track, and a new name, the Z06. Then it's a step back in time to the first powerful Chevy small block and the finned classic it came in, the 57 Bel Air. And then the Boxster S, the new version of Porsche's mid-engine roadster with new power hidden underneath. Those stories and more in this week's edition of Car and Driver Television.
Welcome to this edition of Car and Driver. I'm Jim Scouten, and this is the one, the highest performance Corvette GM has ever built. It's time to learn a new model code. For 2001, the excitement comes with a new label, the Z06. For 2001, the news on the coupe and convertible is a story of refinement. Both are relatively unchanged visually. You'll have to look for the chromed exhaust tips to know it's an 01 model. Otherwise, you'll feel right at home with whatever option package you choose in the convertible or the coupe. But you'll have more help on the road. The second generation active handling stability system is now standard on all Corvettes, and our wet skid pad testing shows the advantages as we ran through lane changes and the slalom at speeds that would not be possible without the system's help. And you'll have more power for 2001 from the LS1, now bumped up 5 horsepower to 350, but with 25 more pound-feet of torque at 375.
Coupe and convertible have been improved with an upgraded engine, a standard active handling system that's really the second generation, and then a lot of detailed refinements in the little things. But the big news, of course, is the extreme performance enthusiast model that we're introducing, the Z06.
Z06 was a very limited option code back in the 60s for a race-ready Corvette package, and reviving the name for this new model is no exaggeration. For 2001, all hardtops become Z06 models with functional mesh cooling grills in front and with brake cooling ducts behind the doors. All get new 10-spoke wheels, an inch wider front and rear, and wearing Goodyear's new F1 supercar tires. These are not run-flat tires, so you also get a bottle of tire sealant and an inflator pump in the trunk. And you get a new engine wearing red rocker covers. This is the LS6 with revised breathing, a new cam, new heads, higher compression. It adds up to 385 horses and 385 pound-feet of torque. That and a serious diet to reduce weight nearly 100 pounds compared to the coupe produce the quickest acceleration of any Corvette ever made. We get 4.3 seconds to 60 and a quarter mile of 12.7 at 113 miles per hour, quicker than the famed ZR1. Inside, the Z06 is set off by red upholstery for the lower dash and door panels, and the buckets get red with the logo on the headrests. The TAC carries 2 reminders, the logo, and a 6500 red line. There is no choice on transmission. You get the 6-speed with revised close ratio gearing. Now, go race.
This Z06 car has vastly more acceleration out of the corners. It's got more engine power, shorter gearing, and it's lighter weight. What that means is it just rockets ahead when you step on the gas. It's got so much more grip and so much more steering response that you simply can't be ham-fisted with this car. It also requires a more delicate touch on the accelerator. There's so much power that you don't simply plant your foot when you're coming out of a corner. If you do, you'll find yourself sideways immediately.
The message is be smooth, but with the new Goodyears and the new sport suspension, you've got 0.98 Gs in cornering force, more than the Viper GTS Coupe. And if you really want to experience the capabilities, ride with a pro. Andy Pilgrim normally drives the C5R in international competition, but this trip around Mid-Ohio is in the Z06.
We're winding up to about 100 miles an hour in third gear right now. Pretty hard on the brake. right, lefts, coming into what they call the keyhole section. Turn into the keyhole. It's a really nasty, long right-hand turn, and this thing, tires are squealing, but we're not sliding. They're really gripping well. Onto basically the main straightaway here in Mid-Ohio. Up to 100 miles an hour. We're in 4th gear. Up to 120. Fast 100 through 125. 30, 35. Hard on the brakes. Down to 3rd gear. Tight right coming up. This thing is just handling this track beautifully. Hard brakes coming up to the carousel section. Fast left. Hard on the brakes. Unbelievable. This car is so quick. We raced here about 10 years ago in the endurance cars, and I believe really this car is quite a bit quicker than those cars. And it's a production car. Incredible.
It feels like a rocket on the track, particularly compared to the previous car. If you drive a last year's Corvette and then you drive the Z06, you find yourself rushing into corners a whole lot faster, a whole lot sooner. You find yourself going through the corners with just terrific grip. It's a ton faster. Chevy claims that on a typical racetrack, this car is 3 to 4 seconds faster than last year's model, and that's a huge amount on a road race circuit, and you can feel it.
So, what's the price of the Enthusiast Vet? Well, not yet officially announced, but Chevy says they will manage to sell the Z06 for a hair less than a well-equipped convertible. So figure $50,000 for the quickest vet yet in 48 years of Chevrolet sports cars. 5 years into the development of the C5 Corvette, you've now got choices to make. Whether you want the wind in your hair with the convertible, or the more affordable hatchback, the bestseller, or whether 385 horses is important in your lifestyle. I don't suppose I have to tell you how we vote, do I? That's right. Make mine the Z06.